to talk films. Today is a special review, or should I say vlog, for a film that we saw recently. I've got Elliott Hamilton with me from Misplaced Hours, and recently we went to see The Expendables 2. You've probably seen a lot of other people giving their opinions on the movie, but I thought I'd give my own little perspective on how it went. So I think we'll start with just the general cast. I think it was quite impressive, to say the least.
It's intense. They brought in all the action classics in there.
All the action classics. You got obviously Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis,
Van Damme,
yeah, Van Damme. Chuck Norris, yeah, absolutely, and they managed to fit in a good few lines. I would say it's almost like being in the middle of some kind of an in-joke between all the actors. I think before I go further, I will say that there may be a couple of spoilers, just in case, depending on how we talk about it, but we'll come to that should we need to. Generally, the feel. I think we'll start with the feel of the whole film. As it stands.
Yeah.
Certainly, I would say it's better than the first one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
To say the least. I mean, the first one had its moments. It impressed you with the general cameo appearances, but as you may know, Arnold Schwarzenegger only makes a 2-minute appearance, which is a major tease for anyone who likes him and any of the films he's in.
And you can tell they weren't in the same room at the same time. Bruce.
That's right.
Bruce and Arnie. They had to,
That's right.
put the framing in such a way. It just looked pretty poor, didn't it?
It did, and generally, I think that this time they listened to the fans. I think that was a key point, actually. What I really gathered from this is that they actually took away from the first one and said, okay, we did this. What can we do to make it even better? And they didn't disappoint. No. I don't think. The CGI is a little bit
debatable, just like the first.
Debatable in places, just like the first one, as you say. But ultimately, I think when you go in to see a movie like this, you always got to have an open mind. Certainly, in as much as it gives you what you ask for. You ask for action with all the classic stars, and they deliver on that. They don't go away from that. They don't try and go into any kind of massive philosophical debates or a question of morals or anything like that. I know that the one thing I was worried about was the idea that they were going to say, violence is bad and we shouldn't do this anymore. And although, Sylvester Stallone kind of touches upon it slightly, it's soon diffused very quickly when he starts picking up a fucking shotgun and tearing up the place. It kind of takes away from the moral when he starts saying, the good die young, and then suddenly he's got this massive shotgun. I think it was him anyway. Certainly someone, with the brass knuckles. Jason Statham. I've been on the McKellar. Was impressive. I think he represents, I suppose, the newer generation.
Yeah, and he sort of was there for some of the comedic, sort of the interplay between him and Sylvester Stallone. They had the option to, because you could. Well, they tried to set it up as if they had like a long-standing sort of the partnership, so they could play off each other. They knew each other well, so they could, mock each other through that point.
He does impress me because despite all the what you could call titans, I suppose, of the action world, but since the 80s, he really holds himself really well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he's just as respected as any of the other stars there by the end of it. I do know that Chuck Norris was a nervous one, actually, especially during the film, because he does appear in it, and yes, he does make reference to the Chuck Norris facts. It was something that I imagine was a given. He only appeared in 2 minutes, and there was a moment of horror, I suppose, that I thought that was it, a bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first one, but it proved me wrong.
But to be fair, he certainly comes back in a big way, doesn't he?
He does, and I think you wouldn't be disappointed in the slightest unless you've already gone to see this, of course. which you probably have done by now because I'm a bit late doing this. Is there anything that you would say is bad about it, though?
Well, Chuck didn't do the roundhouse kick. I was really pissed off about.
Yes, that's right. He doesn't do a roundhouse kick.
But,
I
think that possibly the Van Damme character could have been used a bit better. I think he was a bit of a bit limp towards the end. Really, he kind of.
Yeah, I guess you could say he was a little underused, short-lived as well. Because considering he's supposed to be the big
like
bad
the
guy,
Titan, like sort of the evil aspect of the film, I felt that he wasn't really particularly that evil in the whole context of the film, and I think he probably could have just been a bit more, of a, just a bit more of a bastard, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, actually, I think, especially in the climax, again, spoilers. Don't watch this if you're not wanting to know what happens or anything. But I do think it's a slightly anticlimactic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, after all this build-up of him being a big badass guy who can't be touched practically, and then Stallone comes out, out and just decimates him right at the end, and let's just say makes a fool of him in a way, despite his claims. And but I think ultimately, if you're looking for the kind of movie where it's just pure action, pure enjoyment for it, and to be fair, like cheesiness, I guess. There's a lot of cheesy moments in the film. There's a lot of moments where you're just sitting back laughing because you know it's stupid, and they know it's stupid. Everybody knows it's stupid, but you're just having a really good time with it.
Yeah. I mean, somehow they managed to build up the the friendships between the characters were portrayed surprisingly well, and you could actually think that they were a team, that got to know each other, and they were, that they had the fun times, and they were also, able to focus on, the particular task at hand, and
that's right.
I think that there were no particular parts that were a bit, just weren't really portrayed honestly.
That's right.
Still had the commitment to them.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's one of those films where it wouldn't have mattered if they were unrealistic.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered. Even if they just flat out came out and said, "My name's Arnold Schwarzenegger, my name's Sylvester Stallone, let's go shoot the hell out of some people," I would have still enjoyed it. But it actually really added to it, knowing that they are actually giving a very convincing performance. And it feels like they really are fighting for something, not just for the sheer hell of it.
True.
Despite the amazing climax of the movie. That really is the highlight for me. Is the climax. It's something fans have been waiting for a long time. I think the idea of Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Bruce Willis standing together
with Dolph Lundgren as well, supporting Terry Crews, and it's just packed with testosterone and violence, but like a decent kind. I mean, it's fairly. It's not really a realistic, type of violence, but it's just a bit of fun, and
it's just good fun. What more do you want out of an action movie, really, to be honest?
Maybe sort of the Commando style, sort of like the soundtrack,
the
steel drums.
If you're committed to films like Commando or hell, even Demolition Man or something like that, the soundtrack would have been more enjoyable in a way if it was silly. I think what's ironic about the whole genre in a way is how ridiculous you want it to be. People almost look for the ridiculousness rather than the seriousness of the film.
And how with sort of these types of films, which are the hark back, they've actually tried to go for more of sort of the straight-laced, but back in the past you hear some of these soundtracks that are used, and they're just so weird and crazy, and they try to go back to like the strings and the drums, trying to build up tension rather than steel drums. Or
nothing can beat pure tension than steel drums. But any final thoughts? Any kind of
I think
defining moments or
defining moments?
What would you say your best moment is?
Best moment of the whole film.
Of the whole film.
Some of the puns, man and knife. I think Jason Statham dressed up as a priest, saying man and knife, and then because he's the knife guy. Yeah, I mean just the way that they were able to actually build up some of the characters. Create
further the story, isn't it? I suppose furthering the story. Yeah. I have to admit, my defining moment is the sheer joy you can sense from Bruce Willis as he has that talk with Arnold Schwarzenegger, like exchanging one-liners from famous movies. Obviously Schwarzenegger's got his "I'll be back" thing, and Bruce Willis decides he's going to use that, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger says "Yippee-ki-yay," and it just it's those kind of moments you almost get the sense that the audience wants to scream out like "Hey," just really enjoy the moment. Yeah. And you can sense in Bruce Willis, you can see that kind of smile that he really enjoyed doing that, and everyone seems to have really enjoyed it, and I think that's what makes a movie. I think it was much more fun than the first one. I think it actually had a better plot than the first one as well. Because the first one just standard dictator trying to bring him down, but then this one kind of had sort of like the dual idea. At first they go to try and sort out a particular thing, and then it counteracts. Van Damme comes in, and it kind of you can really see it, but it still somehow seems to throw you off. When you don't really expect it to happen at that point, and then it does, and it takes a completely different path. And that's right.
It is quite a good thing for the action film to be able to do that.
I think it's well worth watching.
Yeah, definitely.
Try and catch it in the cinema, because I think the cinema is obviously the best experience to have with this kind of movie, and see what you think yourself. Anything you'd like to add, or?
No, I think it was all good, and cheers for letting me vlog on your blog.
No problem, man. And I guess that sort of wraps up this vlog, and until next time.